let's take a few seconds to talk about abundance. So, how do humans perceive abundance? So, if you were to have 1,000 apples tomorrow, would you want to get more apples the day after? Not really. If you had five toddlers, would you want to add a couple more to take care of? Not really. If you were thousands of dollars in debt, would you like to add another $1,000? We wouldn't. The idea is that whenever we have things in abundance, for the most part, we lose appreciation for it or we don't want more of it. So then we don't value it properly. We feel the exact same way when it comes to health. The idea is that we view that we have it in abundance, and it's not until the point where it feels like we don't have as much as we thought do we actually put the right value and then seek it. Conversely, when we hit this point, so if we're thinking specifically with exercise and activity, if we've gained some weight or not feeling as healthy, we immediately want to go to do an action, some kind of fitness style thing or diet style thing or anything like that. But the idea is that we haven't really appreciated what it was that got us there. In the fact that we're deciding to again go with an action is kind of leading us in the wrong direction. We're thinking about it incorrectly. The reason why we got to where we are is because we didn't quite listen to what the body was telling us. Therefore, if we quickly choose an action, we're still not listening to what the body is telling us. We're just thinking, well, we know what's best and we're going to do this thing. So if we don't want to follow the same trend and find ourselves not with the solution we're looking for, we have to think differently about the exact same situation. We have to think, okay, well, what was I not listening to that caused this action? Most of the time you'll hear professionals say, well, it took 7 years to get here, so it's going to take 7 years to get back. Not particularly. That does give a certain kind of value to what it should take to remedy the situation. But the reason why it's going to take something around that time is because we have to reverse the actions. What happened in that 7 years is the greater question. What brought about this change in the body? The body didn't do it for no reason. It was adapting to some kind of lifestyle, some kind of scenario, some kind of stressor to be able to prolong life. So it gained these extra weight, this more stress, this tension, this tightness, this pain because of all those things. So we have to address the full environment if we're ever going to do anything about solving the issue, which is really just bringing the body back into a state of balance and then supporting that with a lifestyle that supports that balance, whatever that balance may mean for that individual person. Now, we found ourselves in this situation. Why? Because we weren't taught how to listen to the body. So it's not particularly our fault. There's a lot of things telling us not to listen or tune in to what we should do to restore ourselves. That's generally the pressure of the way we live in this society. It's better to gain something than it is to preserve something. That's just the way we think. But the main point is that if we're not being taught, then how can we value? The idea is at this point, in this place of knowing that we need to do something but not quite sure what to do, the wise of us would say that it's good to seek guidance from somebody. In my opinion, the people that should be giving this advice are personal trainers. However, the demand on them hasn't been in the way of the full perspective of what fitness should be or what health should be in their domain. It is really just the demand of the superficial, the shadow side of health, if you want to call it something, or fitness, the part that's only vain about looks and exteriors only, which again is only an external expression of what's happening internally in the mind and in the body. So to get to the root cause of this, we have to put the value or the demand on these trainers to learn more about teaching us how to connect with our bodies. What does it mean to live in movement? What does it mean to be flexible? How does flexible feel? How can I continue to have this feeling? How do I preserve this feeling? These stretching things, the strength things, these balance things, these lifestyle things, these mental things, these stress reductions. I want to live like that. How can I get that? That's amazing. We have to give it value. We have to not just jump to the demands of, I want this now, which is what generally the clients are going to say. We have to be the authority in our field and say, hey, there's more to this. We have to show you what it is to have the feeling of being balanced and then move from that place. I think generally this is where we kind of mix things up. The demand of society on the fitness industry, the demand placed on the individual, where they're now fighting to get health and then seeking fitness first. This all kind of puts this strain, and it distorts the reality of what health should be, what fitness should be. And it's time we restored it. It's 2020. We need to step our game up. We can no longer be backseat drivers of our own health. We have to, take the reins, be the ones pushing for our own health, and we have to educate ourselves in the way of self-care, and in this way, changing the demands on the industry and enlightening ourselves to a better realm or spectrum of health.